Okay, so here is our video on our balancing equations, chemical equations, fat. So I wanted to show you a couple of shortcuts and kind of how to get into it and how to start it. So you go ahead, go to your classroom if you don't have it open already. Click on balancing equations, fat. There will be a worksheet, so I'm going to open that up. But also there is a website and it's linked here, or if you open your worksheet, it also is linked on the worksheet as we are getting this open. So you can see here there's a link right here, so you can click from the assignment or here. If you want to click here, you're just going to click on it. It's going to show up with a little tab here, and then click on that and it'll take you to the website. Okay, and it's going to start looking like this, and so you want to just click on this play button here. Okay, and it'll start loading up the FET. Okay, and this will help you as you're practicing with this balancing equations. And I want you to start with the introduction here. And so the introduction, when you click on it, you can see there's three different kinds. There's make ammonia, separate water, and combust methane. So when you're working on your sheet here, you can see, you can go ahead, you'll see the first one here, you'll enter the numbers here, and I'll show you how to do that right now. And then you're going to go click on the separate water, and you can click here and enter your numbers here for each of the separate water and combust methane. And then there's a couple questions that you need to answer. Okay, and then we'll talk about what this means as well. So let's look at this one. Whenever you're doing these here, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and put a 1 in front of each of them. So we see that some little molecules show up. So you want to make sure that the atoms are balanced. So you can see the blue ones represent nitrogen, the white ones represent hydrogen. So we have 2 nitrogen here, but we only have 1 here. So I'm going to click again here to get 2 nitrogen. But now, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now hydrogen, but I only have 2 here. So I'm going to click until I hit 6 and see what happens when I actually got it balanced. 2, 4, 6. Not only do I get yellow arrows saying yay, but I also get a happy face. There's some other tools up here which are also going to help you if you like this. There's a balancing here, so you can see there's 2 nitrogen and 6 and 6 hydrogen, so you can use that tool. There's also this one here, and you can see it has equals where it gives you a little bar graph, so you can actually click on those tools and use them. But you can see this is our balance. So in that box, you can put 1 for nitrogen and 2, 3 for hydrogen H2, and then 2 for our ammonia here. Okay, and then you're going to move on and you're going to work on water. Okay, so you can click on water, and of course you'll do the same thing. Make sure that you turn it to 1 first, and then start counting the atoms and balancing it. And then you'll do it for combust methane as well. Okay, but let's go back to ammonia since I already balanced it. And so, oops, I just closed my worksheet. So let me open it again. I keep doing that. All right, so when you're looking at the sheet, the next question is once you're balancing everything, as you can see, I was able to click back and forth once I balance everything. And then you can go back in and answer your questions. And here it asks the total number of molecules and number of atoms. When you're figuring out that, the way you do that is the number of molecules. Remember, molecules are what are down here. So number of molecules here, there's 1 of these, plus there's 3 of these. So 3 plus 1 is 4 on this side. And then there's 2 over here. So when you're doing those here, so on the reactant side, you saw that there was 4 and 2. But then in the next box, it asks number atoms. So then go back up and you're going to do the number atoms. And you can use here, okay, you can see it's 2, these 2 nitrogens and 6 hydrogens. So there's 8. And then there's 8 on this side. And even if you're using it here, you can see this is a little harder. I don't really like this one because it can't tell me reactants and products. So I usually use this one where I can add it really quick. 8 on the reactant side and 8 here. So that's what you would put down here when you're filling in these boxes. Okay, and then it's going to ask you a couple questions about atoms and molecules and how they balance. Once you finish that with all 3 reactions, then you're going to head into the game. So the game is down here. You can see it says game, so you can click on here, and each person's levels are going to be different. They use different equations for everyone. So it's always going to be different. So you can do it a bunch of times, you'll get different equations. But you're going to start with level 1. And as you can see, nothing is in the boxes. So again, when you get to your equation 1, you're going to go 1, 1, and 1. And then in this one, I'm going to go ahead and balance. You can see I have an orange. I have 1 orange here, but I have 4 here. So I'm going to balance my phosphorus. And I'm going to get, now I have 4 oranges and 4 oranges. Now, though, I have a 3 here for chlorine. So 4 times 3 gives me 12. You can count up all the greens. You have 12 chlorines. But I only have 2 here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add. So I have 12. Okay. The last step, I'm going to look, can I divide them all by the same number? And no, I cannot, because I cannot divide 1 by 2 like the other 2 to make sure. So then you'll check. And if you get it right, bam, you'll get this. Now, before you leave here, this is what you need to enter into your equation 1. So you can see it says 4 phosphorus chlorine 3. So when I'm going to put that in reaction 1, I'm going to put 4. And I usually have my, you can do capital P and then CL. Now remember, to do the subscript, you're going to press Control and the comma button and then put a 3. Okay, and then press Control, comma, and it'll bring it back up. Okay, now to put in, because now you need to put in this little arrow. To be able to do that on Google Docs, you're going to go up to Insert. And you're say special characters, and a little box will show up, and you can see there's your arrow. You're just going to click on that and then X out of it, and it will put that in there. And then you can enter the rest of it. And then 1, remember we don't write 1s even though it's in there. We'll just put a P4. So I'll go back and I'll put Shift P, okay, capital P, Control, comma, 4, and then Control, comma. And then I will go back and put, what else do I have? 6 chlorine, 6 Cl2. So I'll put a 6 Cl, Control, comma, 2. And that is that one. And you're also going to put up here what you get out of here. So if you get 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, when you're done with all the reactions, it'll tell you. Then once you're done with level 1 is when you'll go to level 2. It's a little harder, okay? Level 2, okay, as you go in. So make sure that you are putting in the equations as you go over, okay? Do not worry about level 3. If you want to do level 3 here, go for it. But this one is going to be a little rough, but you don't have to write anything down. I expect you to do level 1 and level 2. As for level 3, go for it. Go ahead and do it. It's got a lot of polyatomics on it, okay? And then as you go down, you will see there's some post-lab questions for you to answer. For A's and B's, you're going to highlight which coefficients you're able to use here. And then for the bottom 3, this is equation 1 and equation 2. And you're going to explain why equation 2 is better than equation 1. Remember, the last thing you want to do, or the last step you want to do on any balanced equation, is to see if you can divide by all of the coefficients by the same number. Okay, so give it a try. You can do it over and over. Remember, the more you balance or the more you practice, the easier, faster it gets. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know.